Okay. Sorry, the sun is going to move in a minute, and it's going to be above this tree. And then when it does, all this weird bright contrast, you'll be able to see everything right behind me. And I think you're going to find that this is paradise. And hopefully, my denoising soundboard is removing all those trike noises and everything coming around. But this, ladies and gentlemen, is one of the most beautiful rental houses I've ever seen here in Angeles City. Well, actually, it might be anywhere in the Philippines for the price, because I'm going to end up giving a tour. They're a very private family. They don't want to be all over YouTube for obvious reasons. And so that's fine. Totally cool. Appreciate them letting me stay here. And we met long time ago. And I think within months of me being in the Philippines. And we've been friends ever since, his wife and his son and himself. So, yeah, they let me stay in this place. And wait, on Monday when his son goes to school, they're going to let me record this place. It's going to blow your mind. And he's paying 60,000 pesos a month, but it's like a resort. And it even has another house, technically, at the back here on the compound. And it's a massive compound. Like, you're only seeing a tiny bit of the two pools they have here. It's hard to see right now. Like I said, once the sun shifts above this tree above my head in about 10 minutes, you'll be able to see it all. I'm going to adjust this a bit so I'm not slouching. And this. There we go. So anyway, welcome to Angeles City. Just got arrived yesterday. Now, my videos are way behind. I've just been so busy, it's hard for me to get all the content out. But yeah, I've been in many places. After what you guys have already seen, I went to Lipa City itself and stayed there. And then I was in Eastwood, which is like BGC, right? It's also owned by Mega World. And I was there for 3 days, 2 nights, 3 days. Yeah. Did lots of stuff, and I went to Antipolo up in the mountains. I didn't realize that you can live in a place like BGC, that sort of thing, right? And still live, my brain, I just woke up. We were out very late night, by the way, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, you can be within 15 minutes on a motorcycle, though, not on a car. We were in the mountains in the provinces from Eastwood. I always thought, oh no, it'd take you hours to get to the provinces, that kind of thing. It was clearly wrong. Now, anywhere else in Manila, probably. But being in Eastwood, it was so quick. I couldn't believe it. Yeah, so let me, I'm going to check my comments here because I'm letting people stream in before I tell you about our crazy night here in Angeles City and, well, anything else. I've got so much. The stories I could tell right now of all my stuff I've seen in the last several days. It's been crazy. But most of it, you'll have to wait for the videos because I can't remember everything. But yeah, so this guy's got an amazing place. He sits out here a lot. He spends most of his time outdoors, even though he has everything he wants indoors as well. And at 60,000 pesos a month, about 1,000 US, he lives a dream here. His electricity's kind of high. I think he said total he's probably spending about 80, but it's enormous. And he's got tons of air conditioners and he's just got everything. So it's going to be cool to give you that tour of the place. I'm going to record it on Monday, but I'm so many days behind. You'll see it probably later in the week. But there's lots of cool stuff coming. All right, so let me say hello to some of you before I get started here. And I appreciate you guys all being here. We got Jay Sully here, Rockstar Wrecker, and Smurf Crusher. Hello. Oh, I'm going to cook in this sun. Hurry up, get above the tree. Why you tripping? Dawn, June, good morning. Osico Games, nice setup, thank you very much. I bring it everywhere I go, which is why I can't just do things in a backpack. Somebody likes turtles. Okay, Shadrick, you like turtles. Fantastic. Is there a turtle behind me? Oh, yeah, right there. Yeah, inflatable turtle for their son, yeah. Oh, actually, he probably lays on it with his beer. Good morning, Chris. William, good morning from Guam. Fantastic. Flip and the Blue Mule. Place is amazing. Yeah. Oh, the farm. Yeah. The farm was crazy. Absolutely crazy. And like the luck I got out of it, right? Like that's literally going from this, Love Hotel, and for $2 an hour or whatever, and then getting a text saying, hey, we're staying up here. You want to come to this resort? Let me talk to the owner, see if we can work something out. I'm like, Yes. Yes. Pretty darn amazing, right? Like, that was just crazy. I don't know. It feels like, yeah, I get a lot of bad luck sometimes. Like, things smash. Like, at that farm, by the way, my GoPro smashed. Like, smashed. It fell, smashed into a stone wall that goes around a pool. And then, so it shattered like crazy. And then it fell in the pool. So, say goodbye, right? And it cost me 25,000 pesos the next day to go buy a camera. So, and the last bit of footage is all from one of their marketing guys' iPhone. So, it is what it is. Let's see. Bosto, hello, hello. And there's Pam. Looking great. Thank you. I hope you have a great day. Thank you very much, Pam. And Winter Sojourn, thank you. Yeah, you like my shirt? You like that? Life is good. Philippines. I look like a tourist. Like a full-on tourist. Hummingbird, hello. IQ Micro, Toronto. Welcome, brother. Welcome. We got the mountains of Western North Carolina. That's where my mother lived for a long time, by the way. Flippin' Blue Mule. Now she's in Panama. She's living in Panama now. Classic Target, morning. Oh, from Monks. Listen, guys, if you're ever in Santa Barbara or you land at the airport, stop at Monks first. You'll thank me. You'll thank me. You can't get food like that here in the Philippines. Danish food, it was just remarkable. Jeep Man, hello from Victoria, BC. Michael, you want to put a cover on the mic? There we go. I had it, but I've been practicing different ways just to see what works and what doesn't, because, yeah, then people say they can't hear me. So, and I'm at max, so there's not much else I can do with it. So I'll just stay close to the camera. I should be okay, or microphone. Hold on to the Smash Smurf camera, but pull the battery. I'll tell you why later. All right. Well, I still have it. I didn't, obviously thankfully the footage was fine inside of it because an SD card's water's not gonna affect it. It's just anything it was recording at that moment. But anyway, I still have it, but no problem. It's the whole back screen is entirely shattered, and then the front screen is shattered, and then the lens is shattered. It's pretty bad. So I was like, adding up all the costs of those things, I don't think you can fix it cheap enough. But maybe not. Tom Hunter, good morning, Michael. I'm packing for Rojas City. Hey, leave tomorrow morning, taking the bus from Dumaguete to Rojas City. Fantastic. Enjoy those beaches, my friend. Enjoy those beaches. I'm going to be jealous. I'll be there in a few weeks, though. There's so many new people here jumping in. Thank you very much, guys. Lover of Song, good morning from Veghead Girl. Nice. Veghead Girl. Wait a minute. Are you from the resort? Vegetarian? Let's see. Hello, El Accra. Katrina Kopp. Life is good. Fantastic. Hankster. Chicago. Wonderful. Kyle from Texas. I'm going to stop doing these in a minute and just start talking. But yeah, James. Mendang. Umaga. Oh. Maganda. Okay. No, there's no A on that. Magandang Umaga. Oh. I just said good morning. Magandan Umaga. Anyway. Bob's here from Indiana. Wonderful. Good morning, Michael. I'm watching Impact. Oh, yeah, we saw that. Boom. I'm getting all over the place. Yeah, sorry. I wanted to stay close because people say they can't see me or can't hear me if I don't stay close, especially with this. So don't mind that. Hello, love the channel. Thank you very much, Joel. Angel Perez. Hey, good morning. God bless you always. And Leroy from Sydney. Okay. Zenmen. Hello from San Francisco. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, now I'm going to go to this. I'll come back to your comments in a bit. Like I said, this is a beautiful place and everything, but I've been through all kinds of crazy stuff. And by the way, when I went to Antipolo up in the mountains there, and I got to go into like some of the villages. I say village, but I'm so used to, in the Panay where I lived outside of Iloilo, you go to these towns and they're kind of small, right? Population-wise, where the provinces near Manila, it's still a ton of people. There is tons of people, even though you're surrounded by some jungle over here and then stacks of people everywhere. And the roads are still a little crazy and that kind of thing. But the views from up there, you can see the whole city right up on those mountains. You just look out and you're like, wow. And plenty of nice mansions and stuff like that overlooking it, of course. But a lot of them are just restaurants and stuff. But I couldn't believe it. 15, 20 minutes, we were up there. But again, motorbike, car, too much stopping and going and stopping, going and blocked. But it was pretty incredible. But we went up there with a 100cc bike. Some friends that I know very well up in Eastwood. Again, known them since Boracay also. And their brother-in-law lives with them. And so their brother-in-law took me up there. He doesn't know very much English, so we struggled a little bit with that. But yeah, 100cc bike, and I looked hilarious because I'm gigantic compared to him and barely fit on that bike. And we're leaning forward to go up the hills and the mountains and stuff like that. But we had a good adventure. It was a lot of fun, and he was such a cool guy. And we got to see their meet his parents and go see their ancestral house where they all live and the neighborhood and everything. It was cool. It was cool. But I got a little piece of everything, you know. Go to the markets out there and go to different places. I don't know. It was a lot of fun. But then Eastwood, of course, Eastwood's incredible. Like it's Disneyland, you know, like BGC, but different. Yeah. If you have never seen Eastwood, you gotta like just visit it once. It's a bubble, and you don't have to leave that bubble. And it's just these massive skyscraping condos in a big circle, and then everything in the middle you would ever possibly need is available to you. And so you just go down your elevator, and 150 to 200 big brand restaurants are available to you at any moment, right there. All the malls you need, everything you need, bars, clubs. Live events all the time, very pet friendly. So everybody has all these bougie pets, you know, the little teacup dogs and all that kind of things. But people can have pretty much any kind of animal there, and it's very friendly for that. So a lot of people have a hard time getting a condo that's pet friendly. Well, Eastwood is pet friendly. Expensive-ish because you fall into the trap, right? You go there, you stay in these condos, you might pay. You know, he had a really nice one. He had a 2-story, and there will be a tour of that. I did film it. He had a 2-story top floor, so really nice loft. I can't remember how much he paid. 60, I think, something like that. It's in the video. My brain's not working right now, but it was really cool. And the thing about there though is then you're just tempted to eat out at all these restaurants and never cook, and it just gets expensive. And that's not like the cheapest restaurants. Like we found this one, I thought it was chicken, but it's apparently donuts, and the lines were incredible. Called JCO, and I said to he unfortunately again the brother-in-law doesn't speak English very well, so trying to figure out from him like what's up? Why is there like 100 people in line for this chicken? I thought it was chicken, and he said cheap, cheap, cheap. So yeah, anybody who works there is got to be careful how much they eat. But the BPOs that are in there is IBM, all kinds of stuff. And the one thing I noticed is, hopefully nobody takes this the wrong way. I'm not trying to criticize or downplay or whatever anybody or make fun of them. But in metropolitan cities like Toronto, Vancouver, New York, Los Angeles, that kind of thing, you find that most people live a very healthy life. They walk to everything. And people are very athletic, right? Like they're just... You know, they're just not like, and then when you go to like Wisconsin out in the middle of nowhere or something, everybody drives big SUVs, they don't walk anywhere, and they eat really big meals and that kind of thing, right? And I set the opposite here. So I go to Eastwood and I'm hanging out there in the day and I see the BPO people, they always have the badges, all the Filipinos and some Filipinos, but mostly Filipinos. But they, yeah, although they may walk, but they're walking very short distances. And, but that food that's in there is all junk food. There's no like healthy living restaurant over here. There might be, but they're not exactly easy to find, and probably not priced very well. So yeah, everybody there does not look very athletic. I'm trying to put this in as polite terms as possible because it's just so different from the West, where the big cities it's one way, and then out in the country you kind of get a different way. Where here it's kind of the opposite, right? In the provinces, people are walking way more, and very athletic kind of, and where in the cities, it's the other way around, and now they eat really bad for you foods pretty often, and just short distance walking. So I was kind of shocked by that. So anyway, it is what it is. It was still a very interesting place to be, and I enjoyed being able to walk around. But we also went into Makati. I did some nightlife stuff also. Oh man, I've been everywhere. It's been a little crazy. Can't remember what was that food that I tried, but I tried to like it. Lomi. Yeah, Lomi, I think it was. And from Lipa, everybody said it's the most famous thing. It's probably a desire, taste you have to acquire or something like that because it was a little runny. Just imagine like raw egg yolk sort of thing, and that's the whole texture of the entire meal. I'm gonna grab my coffee right over here. One second. So anyway, let's talk about last night here in Angeles City. So my friend here, and I'm here with his family. He his wife is totally cool with him coming out with me. Obviously, she's like trust him completely, and he should be trusted because he was really good for his wife, no problem. But she doesn't care that we go down there and everything, and so we hung out there and did a lot of people watching at Kokomo's first, obviously, as one does. And the Kokomo's is great if you haven't been because it's high up, and so then people that are driving you nuts, it could be beggars, it could be people trying to, billion people trying to sell you Cialis and Viagra, or whatever they're trying to sell. They can't really get to you because you're a little high up, so you just can wave your hand and they can't really get too close. But when you go to like Phillies or the other places, if you're right on the edge wanting to people watch, yeah, they can literally touch you. And people will. So, yeah, it happens. Anyway, so Kokomo's was cool and everything, but then we said, okay, let's go. And we went to XS. I always go to XS. And the last time I've been there 2, 3 times, it was not dead, but it was like, say, 60% capacity, right? Still, XS generally has the prettiest girls because there it's not just stand. Like most clubs, you go in, you sit down, and the girls just are all lined up, and they just stand there, and they kind of like pretend to dance. And it's just the most awkward thing I've ever been in. Like, I can't do those. Like, that's just the weirdest thing for me. I feel like you don't want to make eye contact because then they're all like just eat you alive. So, yeah, I'm just like, why am I here? Where you go to XS, and they do real performance shows, like acrobat, different type of dances and cheerleader ones, and it changes, never ending, and it just goes. And they have maybe 250 girls now, 300 girls. I swear they get the best of the crop. They were the prettiest girls we've ever seen, and for good reason because the place was so packed. I couldn't believe it. Like getting a table or a chair or anywhere to sit in that place on 2 stories was next to impossible. We finally did it, but it was struggling. We were up on the second floor, kind of back where you can't really see very well. So that was shocking to me. So it's doing very, very well. I was told that the Korean Air Force is here because they have their own version of like the Blue Angels or something going on. They're doing an air show. So there might have been a lot of them there. We can't tell. I didn't see any uniforms. But I did see plenty of Americans, UKs, all those type of people were there. And it was pretty darn busy. But we also went to other clubs afterwards, and we were like, oh, it's dead. And, it might be now down to 20% what I would consider very pretty comparative to the other one, which was like almost 100%. That was pretty incredible. So it depends on what club you go to. But that club, if you're going to go, it's called XS, right? XS, yeah, right across from Kokomo's. That's the premium one there, and they're all the same price. So it doesn't matter. We did buy a couple of girls some drinks just so we can chat with them and ask them like how long they've been there, where they're from, that kind of thing. But that was it. We just bought them their drinks and gave them 1,000 pesos each and sent them back to go dance and do whatever they're going to do. We don't want to waste their time or anything. We weren't there for that. Anyway, we were pretty drunk though. We came stumbling in here. Oh geez, I don't know. I don't even know what time. All I know is I was like, I can't edit. There's no way. I am too. Just to set this up, I was looking at the text and it was blurry, and I'm like, I need to do something. I'm not putting a video up this morning, so I better do a live. And what better place to do a live than with this right here, the pool in the background and everything. So it worked out. Let's see if you got any juicy questions here or anything. And do I still plan to stay in just in the Philippines? Well, like I when I moved to the Philippines, I was like, this will be my opportunity to also visit parts of Asia, but it would be like tourism essentially. I would be living in the Philippines, and I could go for a week to Thailand or a week to Japan or something, like a vacation. But yeah, this is where I consider my home. Let's see. I want to make sure you're going. I went too high up here. Oh, yes, we talked about the vegan food at the resort. Oh, I talked to a few people. Mm, I might need more hints. Might need more hints. Oh, there we go. Basso Antipolo. I'm wondering, I may have been there. I don't know. I don't know. I just kind of like went with the flow. So, Vinny's here from Surfside Beach, South Carolina. Beautiful place. I'll be there in Manila, April 24th to 27. Going to check out a fitness competition. Oh, fantastic, Hankster. They do have one Irish pub here in Angeles City. It's right behind Kokomo's, and it's got one of the ATMs here that is 20,000 peso limit instead of 10, and that's how I know. I would always go there to use that ATM. Have you been to Dumaguete yet? Yeah, when was I there? Last month, guys? Something like that? 6 weeks ago? Yeah, you can find my videos. Don't go that far back. You'll see Dumaguete shows up right away. Spent a few days there. It was good. I came back too, right? Yeah, it was 2 trips. 2 trips I went to Dumaguete. I seem to be lagging. Yeah, not my internet here. Sorry, guys. But I seem to have pretty good internet at the moment. He has Starlink here. It's just where I'm out in his yard, so not every spot. Sorry about that. Let's see. Oh, somebody already answered. Don, I'm all good. My foot's back to normal. Thank you. Life Journey, good morning. Can you stop rambling and answer chat questions? Well, where are your questions? Let me scroll up and find your name here. Summer, a good time to come to the Philippines, or is it too hot? You know, you eventually get used to it. It's just hot all year round. There's sometimes a little less hot, but I'm going up to Baguio and Vegan, so it's going to be really cold up there, coldish. And when I was in Lipa at night, I felt like I was starting to get really cold. My hair was standing up on my arms and everything. It was probably 17 degrees Celsius. So what's that, 69, something like that? And it felt freezing. But that's because when you live here, you really get used to all this heat and everything, right? Thank you very much. It does kill me, especially when there's a ton of clips, and I got to find a way to keep it interesting, not just like have one thing drag out too long. Otherwise, you guys get boring. I don't want that. And but I don't want to leave anything out that is context, so that kind of makes sense, you know. And also, YouTube is really pushing. I know people were like, make shorter videos, make shorter videos. YouTube is pushing 30-minute videos. So, and not all 30. Some might do 25, 24, whatever, because I'm not going to add content for no sake of adding content. But yeah, they're pushing it. And if you put anything less than that, you'll see the views. They're much, much less views because they're not pushing the shorter videos anymore. Some people are just crazy big, right? They're massive subscribers or whatever. And so, yes, they'll still be successful with shorter videos. But I am the small channel, right? 22,000 subscribers where I can get, on average, 25,000 views on a 22,000 subscriber. That's pretty good, right? So clearly, I need more of you to subscribe. I don't have to tell you guys in the chat, though. You have to be subscribed to chat. So appreciate it. Thank you very much. There you go. Exactly. John's got the answer here. If it's too hot, go swim. Cold beer, aircon, no problem. Exactly. It's true. True. Or if you go down by the ocean, the breezes and everything, fantastic. I felt like I was going to sneeze. Oh. You know, drinking late, you know, you're just kind of still a mess. It needs to hydrate with beers. Listen, the club made it very clear I need to hydrate with more water. It's cool how they can show you it. Like you get to see the size of your white blood cells. It doesn't show up well on a camera, by the way, especially with an iPhone of a screen. But you watch it, and you can see the blood cells moving around and dancing around. You can see how close, if they clump or they don't. And the whole thing was so cool. And it's one thing to have somebody tell you, like, listen, you need to hydrate more. But when they can actually show you, you know, okay, beforehand, before we test your blood, let me show you what their markers are. When you're dehydrated, you'll notice these little rough edges around the edges. And when you have something wrong in your body, your white blood cells will be like really oversized over top of your red blood cells. You'll see the white is huge, those kind of things. And then when they test your blood and bring it up, you're like, oh, wow. So anyway, I thought it was really cool. No, this is kind of part of the trip too. Like when you guys see the video of this place, it makes you wonder, because he said if I had many selections to choose from, and this house is like a palace. He has this massive compound here, vehicles everywhere. Like he has two gates, a drive-in gate over there, drive-out gate there. The pools, of course, a guest house in the back that's huge. The house itself is huge. The massive wall compound all the way around. 5 minutes from walking street, that kind of thing, to drive, by the way, not walk. But just everything. He's got the mall nearby, everything. And so he gets that for 60K a month. Like that's above my limit, but that's not the point. The point is that you can see that the market here is fantastic. When he said I had many options to rent from, and it wasn't just this one, and for the same price point. So that means anything, if you had a 25 or 20K a month budget, you probably can get an excellent place here, like really excellent. So yeah, everything. I keep my mind open. I decided that after this trip, I got to figure things out. So that's what we're gonna do. I chat with a Panay online occasionally. I told her, oh, sorry, some of that will get cut off. I told her I never see Panays dressed for winter. Listen, if it gets to 18 degrees, they're all wearing coats and all kinds of stuff, and I'm like, it's not that cold, guys. Not that cold. So Lipa, it was okay. It was okay. It didn't sell on me. It just felt like a mini Manila, to be honest. And I'm not saying like BGC Manila. So how do I describe it? It's not like it was a bad thing, but the traffic there, just to go up the street, right? Just because I had to catch the bus at the SM, which I could see the SM at a distance, but I could see it. And just, they have no taxis there. They have no Grab. So you have to take trikes. And the trikes are they're the little turbo ones, which I can't fit. Like I had to squish really bad. And then they're only about an inch from the ground. And you get in this thing, and the traffic was out. It's just outrageous, day or night, just to go up that road. And when you're this far off the ground, well, that also means that all these vehicles are sitting in front of you with their mufflers spewing all that black smoke, and you're down at the level of the muffler. So you're just sitting there, and I'm just like, oh. In the end, I said, get me out of here. I got out, and I carry my heavy suitcase in one, and I got my backpack and everything. And there's no sidewalks, and I just figure it out because I was like, I can't sit in there. I can't. I paid the guy. I'm like, no, never mind. It was horrific. Like I like some place they have the big trikes. Like in Dumageddon, they have fantastic trikes, right? But there, gosh, that was horrible. It was hard to sell me on it. The mall was nice. Like, it's not like they didn't have nice areas. Of course they did. The market is one of the biggest I've ever imagined. Like huge, enormous, and probably super old. People were nice, but yeah, I've kind of really been sold on this more provincial type of life now. That I get the advantages of living in Eastwood and BGC, and I get all that stuff. But that kind of was never my thing, to be honest. I could just stayed in the West if I wanted that kind of life. So yeah. I hope this isn't too personal. What was said about your blood work? Oh, I'm drink a lot more water. That was the big thing. Very important. Drink a lot more water. Oh, I want to make sure that doesn't get cut off. How do I do that? Can I do this? No. Which one is it? Oh. It's going to show up again, but let me ask it out loud here anyway, and I appreciate it very much, and I don't know what I've done to the screen. I think it just gets slightly cut off. Sorry about that, Chris. All right, Chris, is it possible to start out somewhere for about 500 USD rent per month in the Philippines? If so, what city? Yeah. So you can do that pretty much anywhere. And supply and demand dictates price. So even though, yes, you can live in the provinces super cheap, but if there's nothing that to your standard, it may not be super cheap. And if you come to Angeles, well, there's a heck of a lot of Western, because many Americans have been living here for decades, right? So the Western style places are all over this place. And so therefore, the supply is huge and you can get fantastic prices. But keep in mind, in Boracay, I loved that house I lived in, and I got it for 20,000 pesos a month. What's that? US dollars, like $360 a month? Wow, thank you. Mine's really old and cold. Thank you. I got a coffee delivery. Isn't that great? So, yeah, we're in Iloilo City. Right now we're in a supply glut. And so you're now paying, even for a studio condo, 30,000 pesos, that kind of thing. So the deals are harder to find. People can just ask for more money because there's just not enough supply. So yeah, you can definitely, 500 is a lot, by the way. But this house here is, what, let me think, 60 is literally 500, isn't it? Yeah, 510, 520, 530, 550. I'm Canadian, so I always try to put myself in between. But at 50 would be, yeah, I think it is. I think it's like 550 maybe a month. And this is a massive, enormous compound for a huge family. So hope that helps. And it finally showed up on the screen for everybody else. There we go. Perfect. I'm just putting myself back on there. So thank you very much, Chris, for the super chat. That's awesome. And yeah, hopefully that helps. It's supply and demand, and there's so many places. Like every place, 500 is actually a lot. So you should be good. Now, how do I get my, how do I get back? Oh, there we go. Philippines is real hot, but the air is moist, not like in the United States. Yeah, it's not like Arizona. There's no Arizona out here. You know, you're in a tropical, humid climate, so that's going to happen. But in the mountains and stuff like that, you get totally different. Like in Lipa, it was cooler. If when I go to Baguio or Vegan, my understanding is it can get to like 5 degrees Celsius. So there are abilities, and I'll find out. I've never been up there, so there are abilities to live to whatever climate you want. That's not going to be a problem. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to go up there. You know, my biggest thing is I'm not running out of time, but that 25K for the camera sucked, right? Don't get me wrong. That really sucked because that was part of my budgeting, as you all know. This is a new channel for me. I just started making money. And as soon as I did, I was like, okay, now I can do this trip. And also, since I'm going to be moving soon, it helped me solve it. But then it'll be hard to travel in the beginning because I'm going to be like excited about this new place and really want to make it my own. And, you know, so it'll be like a month or so that I'm not going to go crazy on the travel. So I just like, get it over with now. Let's go check it out. And I've enjoyed every minute of it, obviously. But the hard part for me is I love this here, and I'm welcome to stay here for as many days as I want. But then I also like, oh, and now I'm getting a lot of offers to go to Bataan, which I didn't realize is part of Subic Bay. Apparently it is. It's a province. But the province tourism department wants me to go out and show me all kinds of things. And I wasn't going to go there. I was going to go from here to La Union. La Union, people keep reminding me. And now it looks like I'm probably going to at least spend 1 or 2 days over that way and then go up to La Union, then go to Baguio, then go to Vegan. But I have to make sure I don't run out of money along the way, right? So that happens. It happens, especially when you separate and everything else, you know. Starting over. Your ability to gather information about the Philippines for your YouTube channel is impressive. You do a great job. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. You know, the thing about everything I do, like it might not be your cup of tea, everything that I learn about or go and see. It's just, you know, if you try to be something you're not, it's going to feel like work and you're going to hate it and you're not going to stick with it. So I just do the stuff that I'm interested in, right? I want to know what costs for this or that, or I want to know what's it like, even if I don't have a family, right? Like I don't have kids and all this stuff. I actually like going to the schools to say, okay, well, if one day somebody convinces me to have children again, which I've been snipped. So until my friend Mark recently, he went and got his reversed, and they got pregnant, no problem. So now they're having a kid. She's 3 months pregnant. Shout out, Mark, if you're there. And so it is possible. I don't know. It's like one of those things where it may come up, right? And so I think about it, but you never know. Let's see. I love when you visit a municipality or mayor. Yeah, sometimes it's cool, but some of them don't respond the same way. Like you saw that when we get to these now bigger cities, you go into municipal hall, there's 1,000 people trying to get services. Nobody's going to pay any attention to you. Even when I went to that tourism thing, I don't know if anybody noticed in Batangas City, I go into the tourism thing, they just kind of let me wander around. Nobody really offered to do anything. I had to ask some questions, and I got like dead end answers, right? They didn't ask anything of me, like, oh, how long have you been here? Where have you been? Where you from? You know, the kind of thing you would expect. That's their job. But I was just like, I ask and I got the answer that just answers it with no follow up, right? And so it just felt like, okay, I'm gonna go now. It's back to exploring. So but other places you saw, I go in there and they're like, everybody's welcoming you, and it's just like next thing you know, they're like, oh, you gotta check out this, you gotta check out this. Let Jimmy come over here, take him over there. I don't think I've met a Jimmy, but you know. What's your favorite beer so far in the Philippines? I just drink San Mig Light, to be honest, but I do like when we have anything like draft, right? It's so hard to find draft in the Iloilo area, but here in these type of areas, lots of places have draft, and Manila has lots of draft, that kind of thing. So there's a lot more things that are available here. I did have the Lipa coffee, known as the coffee capital. Yep, I did have it. It tastes like coffee, but it's great. You're supporting the local economy and everything. It was a little stronger, actually, come to think of it, but it was good. Um, yeah, I do have one actually. I do. It's just on the bus. The guy came over, and I've been refilling this. This is my third or 10th time because I was drinking last night. So it's probably my 10th time refilling this. But yeah, I do have it. It's just if I'm going, for example, out somewhere or whatever, I can't bring it everywhere. I'm already carrying too much stuff. So sometimes I can't, but I do have it. What's Iloilo City like with a single guy? Before I get to that super chat, um, I used to say, well, don't come to Iloilo. It's only a family-oriented place, but it's not. It's got a lot of universities and everything, so it depends what you're looking for. Um, it's just you're not going to find like the same ability where you find in other places. Like for example, in Eastwood or all those places. Oh, never mind. I even went to Makati, and I went to this really cool, trendy, hippie, hipster sort of place where there's just restaurants all over and everything. Oh my gosh, I could have anything I wanted. It was like they just look right at you and they smile, wave, that kind of thing. It really, really was simple there. It would have been so easy. You're not going to get that in Iloilo. Um, I don't know. I just don't know how much they're into foreigners or anything like that, too. Iloilo is a wealthier place, and a lot of universities and everything, they're all going to get really good careers or work overseas, that kind of thing. And I don't know, maybe other people would give a better idea because it's not like I'm trolling around. I was married, and, it'd be weird to be doing anything in that neighborhood, to be honest, right now. So let's see what I got here. Hey, Trader Duke, buying another coffee for you. Love your vids. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Love you, Trader Duke. Thanks for becoming a member, too. Excuse me one sec, guys. I got to sneeze. Okay, there we go. There we go. All good. When are you going to buy a motorbike? Yeah. Well, eventually. Eventually. Like I said, I've just started my whole life over again, so we'll see how it goes, right? But I have my list, and they're all working out now. I have a drone thanks to a subscriber. Absolutely amazing. Same guy who lent me that truck for so long. But I told him nothing's free. I ain't giving. You're not just taking. Every bit of drone footage I take, I'm going to put in a Google Drive and share with him because that is just too generous and amazing. And there you go. He was starting a YouTube channel now. So Frankenfell, by the way, Frankenfell of the Philippines. And yeah, I want to make sure that at least I can give back in some way because that's so cool. Anyway, I have another set of subscribers. If you come here, the cell phones that you find in the store, it'll say whatever brand you buy, right? But you'll notice the price is different here and all that. Yeah, but the quality, when they build for some of the Asian countries, they building it one way, and then when they build for America, it's an entirely different way. And so I was able to, you can get on like a refurbished one on Amazon or something in the US, but if you got one here, it's different. Anyway, it was only $150 to get a Samsung S23. So I have a better camera because just to post pictures on Instagram or whatever, it's impossible here with me because my phone's 4 years old and been repaired 16 times or something, and the camera's garbage. It's like shooting with a potato. So thankfully, subscribers are going to solve that. I have now a new GoPro-ish camera. It's a DJI. So those are the three things I was really focused on. So I got to find a place to live now, and I'm going to deal with that. But yes, bike is on the list. Is the short answer. Just soon. Yeah, I need to drink more water. Yeah, 100%. Greetings from Saskatchewan. Or it's snowing like hell. Ugh. Listen, I told you before. I don't know if you were been watching me for a long time, but my childhood is in 2 hours north of Leoville, Saskatchewan. No running water, no electricity, mud cabin with dirt floors. Just we had nothing. We had nothing. We were farmers ish. And it was a struggle of life and everything. And I remember those horrific winters. Yeah. Hi from Calgary, Alberta. I know this gets cut off, guys. Sorry about that. My normal setup with a big monitor, I'd have this fixed in time, but I didn't. Let's see. Where are we here? I want to make sure I can actually read this whole thing myself. Calgary, Alberta. I'm looking forward to your Baguio videos. They are probably where I will consider moving. Keep up the good work. Thank you. I'm looking forward to Baguio, too. Although I saw vegan was pretty good. Where can I get that shirt? You know what? Honestly, I think this was just in a kiosk in a mall. And I walked by, and they had a deal for like 2 or 3 of them. And so there's another one that's actually better than this one. I can't remember the slogan on it. And I think they were 2 for $5. So it was like, done. Yeah, so I'm going to be roaming around until my lease with my ex is May 1st. So this is our chance. I have to do the first and maybe 2 months rent or whatever it's going to be. That stuff. So now we just paid the last one, March 1st. We're done. No more rent, just the electricity bills, and that's it. And so now it's time to get ready for May 1st. So I'm doing all my traveling right now, getting it out of the way. May 1st, I'll be living somewhere new. And I love Iloilo City. I don't want anybody to think I don't. It just makes sense for a fresh start. It makes sense because I've been there a good amount of time, maybe a year and a half now, and to go do something fresh and everything. I'm a YouTube vlogger. It's fun like this, and it's part of the adventure is just try out a new place and make it exciting, all the time. Do I have an ETA? Michael. Here's a go. Michael Onstad, by the way. The only guy you should go to, at least for a price. You have to at least try him for health insurance here in the Philippines because he understands us. He's from Canada. He was an insurance broker in Canada as well. And so anyway, shout out to you. You found him on Facebook. There's his name. Anyway, he's invited me to come up there. He's going to hang out. We're going to hang out together and everything. Now the answer. I don't. I will know very soon. It all depends on the provincial government of Bataan, who have now made this big invite, because I was going to go from here straight up there. But now I'm loving it here. Like this. Next few days, Michael, I'll get in touch with you. We'll figure this out. Yeah. Sorry, I can't give a more straight answer. I really don't have any. Yeah, so that's where... Oh, is that another place? Yeah, that's another place. Sorry, offhand, I'm not sure. Are you going to do a singles man guide to the Philippines video? Is there one answer for everybody or no? Like, that's the thing. Like, is there one answer? Because you could be in the strangest places and you'll really, the craziest things will happen, like where you're not expecting it. Then some girl winks or smiles at you and you're like, whoa, hello. Then you go say hello and it happens. So you can pretty much go anywhere here and find somebody. It's just, what are you looking for? My friend was saying that he always had preferences of like girls with tattoos and all that. I don't want a girl with tattoos. It depends what you want out of life, and where maybe you find somebody that's more of a homebody or somebody who's just crazy extroverted and really is going to change everything. So it'd be an interesting video, but I feel like it would be just something people say, and at the end of the day, there's no real one answer. No real one answer. You know what I'm going to do, though, now that I'm here in Angeles City, is instead of, like I was at Walking Street, I did not bring my camera, right? We just went to hang out. He prefers his privacy anyway, so for him and his family, so you're not going to see them here. You get demonetized anyway going down there. I could tell you what my experience was and everything like I did, but for the most part, what I want to do is I'm going to go where they all live, essentially, right? Not just going to go to the mall and the touristy, high-end neighborhood, that kind of thing. I'm going to go to those barangays, and I'm going to walk around, and I'm going to meet people. I'm going to go and just see what happens. Because to me, I think that's the part nobody ever shows. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm completely wrong. But I watched many of these Angeles City vloggers, especially before I moved here, and they kind of just do walking street, or they do the modern stuff, right? Like the stuff that's happening at Clark with the water parks, and like I did before, the water park and the zoo and all that stuff where you go to the fancy hotels and the mall and all that. But what about like where I go any other place, where I try to find where the people are? I think it might be quite interesting. Anyway, we'll find out. I get to use my friend's motorbike here, so that's awesome. He's going to let me use it. He's got an NMAX here. Fantastic. He's like, I don't drive it anymore ever since he got a really cool truck. I think it's a Helix, right? Yeah. Oh, Ranger, Ford Ranger. But he had the whole thing outfitted and wrapped. It looks so cool. Hello, Mubuhay, Pinot supplier, subscriber from Hamilton, Ontario. Thank you very much. I'm from San Narcisco in Zambalise. Oh, wonderful. Well, I know Hamilton very well, that's for sure. I'm sure it's a lot nicer than it used to be, too. It felt like it got better and better, because it used to be an old steel town, so it kind of fell apart and really became a real problematic area, but I'm sure it's probably, you can tell me, if it's been, like, re-urbanized or something, those downtowns that were just dead. Oh, I really wish I could fix this, because I can't even read the whole comment. From Georgia, United States, never been to Philippines, looks like I would fly to Manila. Yeah. Money is not an issue. Where is the best place to visit? Well, number one, you can just write me and I'll give you a more detailed answer, because it really is going to be, money is no issue, but do you want like the premium resorts? Do you want just overall? I tell people to go to Iloilo City, but I think to appreciate Iloilo City, you have to go to Manila. You have to go to other parts and then go to Iloilo City, and you're like, okay, sold, done. Because like here, you can't even go to the 7-Eleven without people like blocking the door unless you pay them to get in, like kids, whatever, people. You will run into a lot of beggars here. You do run into that stuff, right? But you go to Iloilo City, you'll never have that. Like, the chances are extremely remote. Never is never a good thing to say, but extremely remote. It's just not something you see. The roads are clean and the sidewalks are clean. Everything's organized. Law and order is everywhere present. It's just different, but you won't appreciate it until. So you should go try some other things out. So money, unlimited money. If you're a single guy, did he sing? If you're a single guy, I loved it. When I stayed at ABC Hotel, like a year ago, 2 years ago, whatever, it is the most coolest experience. If you just want to come down here, go to ABC Hotel, go check out Walking Street, have some fun or whatever. Do that. It's fun. It is crazy. Like the rooftop bar there with the pool is literally underneath where you're sitting. The whole roof is a pool essentially. And yeah, anything you want, no problem. Tell the bouncers, they'll arrange it. It's really that easy there. If you're not that kind of person, then yeah, I hear Palawan. I haven't been yet, but Palawan and Boracay are just such gorgeous beaches, and there's just everything at your disposal right there for the Philippines. It's just, if you were to ask me, it would be different, right? Like, I loved like place like Rojas City. That's why I'm actually considering it, right? Dumaguete was fantastic. I had a lot of great time there. I got spiders crawling all over my computer. I had a great time in Dumaguete too, but in Cebu type AT Park, as long as you don't have to drive to the provinces and everything, it's a nice place too. Girls are everywhere. They're all wearing their BPO badges and winking at you, so they got a job, everything, So that's interesting. I wish I could give a better answer. It's kind of one of those things. That's why I say, if you write me, then I can ask you, well, what do you like about this? What do you like that? And then I can give you good suggestions. The drone is up and running. Yeah, so I couldn't do it at that resort because of privacy. Their clientele are, I met people. They're wealthy people, like Dubai type people. So the resort gave me a little bit to use, so I put it up. And that's it. But after that, yeah, I started using it. Well, Antipolo and in like the Eastwood type area, I have already started to use it. It's fantastic, by the way. The drone's really, really cool. I'm going to use it here too. Really wasn't anything to show, and I thought about it in Lipa, and I was like, what am I showing? There's nothing really to show. So 60,000 pesos is about 1,000. Yeah, I thought so. Okay. Oh, yeah. What was I thinking? Yeah, 25. Yeah, 25 is basically 500, or I think you can get up to like 27 or 28, right? And that's $500 a month. Sorry, my math. Early morning. Thank you, C. Smith, for figuring that out. He's paying $1,000 a month here, 100%. Ah, Terry was freezing in Baguio. There you go. There's your answer. Don't be a fool and super chat this guy. He has no pension and is free. Very cool. Very cool. It's all good. You know, people think people like this guy is like, you should be making me videos every single day. You should spend all your night editing, but you shouldn't make any money. You should be doing this for free, even though I'm not doing it for free for everybody else, because I don't work for free. And so anyway, it's very interesting that these people, like, they call it freeloading when you spend your time making sure other people are entertained. Freeloading. Yeah. It's like, to me, there are beggars. Sure, there's beggars, right? But then if I see somebody on the street and he's what do you call them? You know, when they play the music, they're actually entertaining people and they're playing music and everything. People don't mind giving money because it's not a beggar. He's performing a service that if you enjoy it, you can put a tip in there. You know, that's the difference to me. If I see somebody performing some kind of service, I don't mind them being on the street. I don't think anybody does. Buskers, those kind of thing. Everybody appreciates that. Then somebody just coming up and just putting their hand out, right? And so anyway, it's okay. Brian does YouTube for free for everyone, and he uploads every day, and that's good for him. That's good. All right, there he is. There he is. You are here. Sorry, I'm way behind on these chats, aren't I? Yeah. Mike sounds great. Yeah, what do I have? I have a board here. I don't know the brand of it, though, because it's blocked right now, and I'm from my angle. Same as the mic, I think. They don't have a thing on it either. It's pretty good. All right, let's see. Thank you. There you go. I just don't understand why people waste their valuable time to come and tell you they don't like you, but whatever. They do. Michael, the younger or sooner you reverse the high percentage of successful reversal restored fertility in general. Yeah, I know. Like I said, I am not looking to have kids, but if I met the right person and it was very important to them, I used to say, no, it's never going to happen. And now that's not in my brain anymore. Now I'm like, well, I'd rather just adopt, to be honest. If we can just find a way to adopt and just, I don't have to do the reversal. They don't even have to go through it all. Perfect. There's children that need to be adopted, so everybody wins. Yeah, exactly. The tourism offices, but like I said before, so much easier in the towns as opposed to big cities. They don't seem to be as receptive. They just kind of do their own thing, right? Right? This place is awesome. My friend is awesome for letting me stay here. Hello from Minnesota, Sonia. Hello. Oh, there you go. There's people talking right there. $350 a month rent for 32 square meters. It's the thing about these sizes, 32 square meters. But that's because I'm a house guy, not a condo guy very much. Hello, my friend. Because of your videos, I plan a trip to Rojas City. Oh, fantastic. The rent over there is so cheap. The beaches look beautiful. Yeah, it is. It won't be forever, right? That's the thing. I know what it's going to be. It's Iloilo 3 to 5 years from now. And so that's why I was like, oh, if I moved there, that's why it's a big consideration. Like, I will grow with the growth of that place. And, yeah, I just made a lot of connections there that I could have a better advantage to getting a good place and stuff like that. I just wanted to live on the beach. It's been my dream. And you can live on the beach in a lot of places. It's extreme fortune, but there's also no cities with a nice beach except Rojas City. It's the last one. It's literally, you can live with a house like that in a big city, multiple malls and stuff like the Rums and SM, that kind of thing. I could be wrong. It's where I've found so far. It seems to be the only one. And that long beach. It's the longest continuous beach in the Philippines, which means it's the only place you can go for that long of a walk on the beach or jog or whatever you want to do. Sounds like fun. Yes, I will be staying here in the Philippines, and we have a corporation. I just haven't done much with it yet, but corporation, when I come back, I have to sign some papers being formed so I can then earn money in the Philippines. And we're looking at a few different ideas. I can't talk about them because I have a business partner now. And but there are plans to start a business. And also I'm joining that charity, which is April 4th to the 11th is my first week of performing for the charity, which is my job is documenting, so I'm performing. So I will be documenting what this charity does with the help of the military up into the mountains that we help children. And so that's going to be cool, and I'll be able to show everybody what they do and the good they do and just the experience. You know, we have to go to the military because of safety, so that's going to be cool. But it also gets me now no more tourist visas or anything. I will have a volunteer visa, and I'll have a corporation, Philippines corporation, and we're going to go from there. It's going to get exciting. It's going to get cool. I was always looking forward to specific places on your tour, but frankly, found amazing places everywhere. Yeah, honestly, I'm finding places everywhere. You're 100% correct. It's been so cool. So it's been so cool that some of the places that I never even would have imagined turned out to be some of the most great places to be. And I look forward to going back because sometimes your first experience is just magical, right? Like everything just seems like, oh my God, I love this place. But you have to go more than once. That's what I've learned. Because then you go back the next time, and it's almost like you were looking at it with like glassy eyes or something. I don't know how to describe it. And everything looked perfect, right? And then you go back the second time, you can now see between the lines. And then you see oh yeah, if I moved here, that would be a problem. Oh, they have a lot of problems with that. Oh, you know what I mean? Or you come back and you're like, oh, you just get reinforced. So it's good to go twice. Go twice. Let's see. I saw people here. Well, we see Kat again. So she did tell me she got a job recently, so that's what she's been doing. But yeah, I don't. It depends if I'm down in that way. There's a cool super chat right there. Thank you very much, Ben. That is absolutely cool. Well, and look at that. Sonia has joined as a member now. Thank you very much, Sonia. Really appreciate it. Sonia from Minnesota. Thank you for joining. And by the way, Ben Shepard, if you're going to give a super chat, that's the way to do it. Go after the haters. I appreciate that very much. That was so cool. Wow. Let's see. Oh, I do want to point something out because I keep getting this. Oh, we have another member? Whoa. Joel has become a member too. Thank you, Joel Hunter. Welcome to being a member here. I appreciate this very much. I will do another members video soon. But as it says in my welcome video for the members, I do my best for the main channel. I can't always get time. But if you're choosing to still support me, I really appreciate it. So. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. A lot of people have been contacting me saying, this is a great deal. You can get this condo, and it's only going to cost me like 8,000 pesos a month, or something like that, or 18,000 pesos a month. Why is it so cheap and all that stuff? And yeah, I think people don't understand that rent-to-own thing isn't really rent-to-own. It's rent-to-own for like 2 years, and it does have advantages. So you put down, say, whatever the deposit is, say they want 20,000, 25,000. They offer some really crazy low deposit things, right? So say you put 25,000 peso deposit down, and then they say, oh, we want 18,000 pesos a month, plus you got to pay the condo fee. So say that's another 6,000 or 7,000 a month, whatever. And you think, oh, that's all I have to pay. But no, that you have to ask what's the period. And they'll say, oh, yeah, well, that's for the first 2 years. Then whatever the millions of pesos is left, you have to pay it that day or you walk. And they just start over with somebody else, and they keep all your money from that period. People don't realize that. They think, oh, I can just pay my 18,000 pesos until the whole place is paid off. Because they hide those things. They just make it sound so affordable, so easy, so wonderful, and don't explain very well until the fine print that no. In 2 years from now, you've got to come up with the remaining 6 million pesos or whatever it is, 5 million pesos, or it reverts back to us and we'll go do this to somebody else. It doesn't mean it's a bad deal because a lot of people use it as another option to rent. They don't actually plan to buy. After 2 years, they're going to walk. And they just worked out the math and said, I'll pay that. I'll do that. I technically, in paper, not title, but I'll be called an owner, and I'll live there for 2 years, and then I'll just walk, and that'll be it. And they do the math, and they're like, that's okay. But most people don't realize that about the rent-own stuff. They think it's just renting forever, and then until you own it. And unfortunately, it's not. Some places are 3 years, by the way. Not all are 2 years. Okay, so many on here. Hello from Florida. Welcome, welcome. Did we get another member here? Joel Hunter? No, I think that's what it is. Sonia and Joel Hunter. Thank you very much. And oh, I see. You made it orange because you tagged me. All right. Hello from Florida, Pony. I was sort of confused by the color on that. If you had a chance to work in the U.S. for 6 months and then vacation to the Philippines another 6 months every year, would you do it? Well, that'd be kind of interesting. So I worked for a major one of the not Fortune, I don't know, or whatever, but they were the world's largest in the industry in the manufacturing business that I was in. I already worked for them. They're based out of Texas, and I was in charge of Central and Eastern Canada for them. And then they promised me half the United States for a brand that they have. And I could live anywhere within the Winn-Dixie line, like this. So it would be the West Coast, right? Half the United States, the West Coast. And I live anywhere, all this stuff. And so I was so excited because I was like, oh my God, I can finally live somewhere hot. I'm Canadian. There's nowhere hot to live. And so I was going to live I had to be 1 hour to an airport, and I had to be on that coast. I really didn't want to go live in California at the time. I probably still wouldn't. And so I was like, okay, I want to live near the ocean. Cheapest place to do it was Galveston, right? Go to Galveston, Texas. I had it all set up. I was so excited and everything. But then they said, well, you got to stay in Canada a little longer. We really need you there until we find somebody to replace you. And it was just like months and months and months. And they were just dragging it out forever. And, it was a good way to keep me there. But at the end of the day, then they stiffed me on like $85,000 in commission and all this stuff. So I worked in the United States. That's the short and period of it. It's just I was in Canada and I'd come into the U.S. and meetings, sales meetings, fly in, fly out, that kind of thing. That was allowed. You're just not allowed to actually physically work in the United States. Anyway, and I did enjoy it all. But now I like doing this content creation stuff. If it doesn't work out, I'm starting a business, right? So I'm going to have business ideas and everything I'd rather do. I don't know. I've been working since I was 14. I left when I was 46. So I did quite a few years, and I did multiple jobs, sometimes 3 jobs. I'll be working morning, afternoon, and night, 3 different companies or 3 different positions, that kind of thing. I put in a lot of time. I don't know if I still want to go back to doing that, but it's always ability. I would probably more likely to go and work for one of the big construction companies and go do a project for 3 years in Dubai or Saudi Arabia or whatever, and go be a project manager of some sort or something. That, to me, would be a way to save a ton of money, right? Just live cheap as possible and just go work for them, and then come back here and you just flat out retire if this didn't work out or something, I'm doing all right here, so it's like, all right. We'll see how it goes. Wouldn't you just get a mortgage to pay? Yeah, but yeah, so if you're a foreigner, nobody's going to give you a mortgage here. So that's the problem. So if you can get a mortgage in the United States or something, or if you just have the cash, sure, but then if you have cash, you just buy it. So what time are we at now? Oh, it's only 11. Oh, good. I was thinking it was like 12 or something like that. Yeah, exactly. Everybody loves Michael Onstad for insurance. It doesn't mean he always has like the best answer for you, but it's always the honest answer. And that's what everybody appreciates. He can't make things happen that can't happen, but he can give you no guff, no lie to your face, that kind of thing. And he will go to fight and battle for you as much as he can. And because he's become so extremely powerful with the expats, it allows him to have more ammunition when he goes and fights with the hospitals or Pacific Cross or whatever, because he holds so much weight now. He'll tell you, and when I meet him, we'll talk. But he's like number 1 in the world now, I think, as a sales rep, something like that. Maybe I got it wrong, Michael. You can tell us later. Anyway, the point is now he has more leverage. So he can go to bat with you with a heck of a lot more power. And it's great because they direct bill. You can get plans with no deductibles. Even people in the 70s and 75 years old, 70 years old, whatever, he can get them insurance. Really hard to do. So for a lot of other people. So yeah, it's you can't make magic happen out of nothing, but he's pretty close to that. I'm sure I'm missing a lot of stuff on here. But I appreciate all of you. If I missed anything, you can always keep repeating it. I'll eventually see it. What's your monthly budget now? Yeah, I don't have one. Right now, I am. I'm in that transition that it's like I said. This was my last rent I just paid. It doesn't mean I don't know exactly how much money I have and how much I have to live on and all that stuff. I do. But it's hard for me to say, okay, this is how much I'm going to live on. This is what I'm going to do over here, whatever I'm going to do over there. I'm starting over, right? I gave her all the savings. I gave her everything. So I literally started from nothing. So anyway, just don't want to. They'll get too personal eventually. So yeah, very soon. Come May, I'll know how much I'm going to pay. I'm going to have it all arranged out. I'm extremely good with that. I never run out of money. I always make sure that I can make it every single time. And because I've been there, right? I've been the dead broke. I've been like the loser, degenerate gambler in my life because I was like 17 when I started racing horses and I got hooked into it. And I've been to like real low points in my life at some points. And I learned a lot of lessons from that kind of stuff. And I knew the one thing is I never want to have nothing again, like be broke, living on the street with nothing. Never want to do that again. I've slept on the park benches. I've been in horrible situations and stuff. I just never want to be there again. So I'm extremely careful with my money. Some people say, oh, you're being cheap or you're doing everything. But I'm like, no, I'm just trying to stay alive here, okay? And I think, because YouTube helps with that, by the way, you get paid in like 45 days. Or if you look at the beginning of the month, right now, like March, anything I earn now for this whole month, I don't see it till the end of next month. And so everything you do in your brain, you're always thinking of 2 months out at least, right? And so I don't look at the bank account today. Well, I do, but when I figure out if I can do something, I'm already looking at every day, how much am I earning? Okay, so in a month from now, I'm going to be in trouble, or 2 months from now, I'm going to be in trouble. Normal jobs, you don't have that, right? You just have a paycheck or something. How far are you from the beach here? There's no beach. Subic, maybe. Angeles City is kind of like nowhere near a beach, which is, my friend was like, I really love it here, but damn, I wish there was a beach. I have these spiders everywhere, and they jump all over this laptop here. I'm trying to kill them. Get away, or flip him away. I don't care if he dies or not. Just go away. What's your budget? Monthly budget now? $600 a month. Yeah, no. The monthly budget we did before was based on two people, right? $1,000 a month, or $1,100, $1,200 a month. Really, it was $1,200 a month, and then you can divide it by two, but not if you were one person, right? Because certain costs are kind of fixed, and they don't divide by two. Like if you have electricity in your apartment, you have two people in there. It doesn't go up by double. It goes up by 20% by having another person. So you still have 80% of the cost. Your rent, for one or two, a couple or a single person, it's probably going to be the same. Not in my case. I live in a 3-bedroom house right now in Iloilo. I get it. It's too much for, especially a guy by himself. But I do like all the space. I love, like what my friend has here, this pool and everything, and his compound, and it's so gorgeous. And he pays $60K a month, and it's unbelievable for him and his family. Makes sense. But as much as I love this, I wouldn't obviously do that as a single person. But just that outdoor feel. I would spend most of my time outside. And I did when I lived in Boracay. I had that gazebo built, just donated it to the owners. And I just loved staying outside. I don't like going inside the house. I'm like, I didn't come to the Philippines to sit inside of an air-conditioned house. So somewhere with a breeze or a fan, fantastic. Yes, yeah. You know what? Infrastructure is increasing tremendously in the Philippines. Everywhere you go. It's not just seawalls. Like, you see highways, you see everything. Cleanups of rivers. In Manila, I couldn't believe it. There were so many rivers being cleaned up. So they're finally getting to it. The money is being poured into this country, thanks to the Western countries. I know Canada gave that 53 billion Canadian dollars for climate. And that's all it says, climate. And then gender exclusivity or something like that. Some other program or something. And so they're giving ridiculous amounts of money here. So that kind of money is being just poured into raising the standard of living in here and infrastructure and healthcare, and a lot of money is coming into this country. So imagine in a few more years, it's going to change a lot here. Yeah, they were colonialized by America anyway, and the Spanish. So a lot of resources were taken from here. So I can see the argument that it's like, well, we took from that country for so long. Maybe we should give some of it back or something. I don't know. I don't pretend to know the answers. I don't know. Let's see. Sometimes I wonder why I'm watching this channel as a female from LA. Hey! I say this because so many men are on here looking for inquiring, and so gorgeous Filipinas. Yeah. Now listen, 81% now I'm at for men. It just keeps going up. Of my viewership is 81% men. And the crazy part is my ex, hers went the other way more. She got more females following now, which shocked me, but it's very interesting. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's now down to 19%. So yeah, but keep in mind, YouTube is predominantly male. Their own statistics show. TikTok and Facebook have higher percentage of females. So it's also the platform. Still planning to visit Tagaytay. No, I had to skip it because I had to spend 25,000 pesos on a new camera. When I smashed my camera, I had to change my schedule, and I was looking at the numbers, and I'm like, my goal is Baguio vegan. Everything else was a path up to explore and have fun, but my goal was to do that. I need to make sure I can make it there. And then I got to get home from there. So I got to figure that part out. So yeah, everything was changed the moment I smashed my camera and had to go get a new camera. So yeah, unfortunately I didn't go to Tagaytay today. I have been to Tagaytay only a little bit. I get it. And I would enjoy it a lot. I could make a whole trip just of Tagaytay because it is so lush. It's so beautiful there. Thanks to the volcano, right? Like that volcano makes everything just amazing there. It's just, I don't know, it just feels like paradise. And the one time I was looking to move, trying to figure out where to live, it was like a top consideration. It's just at the same time, Taal volcano was starting to do that spewing. I think it was Taal, one of the volcanoes there, was starting to spew a little bit, like a little burping. And I was talking to all the people, and they're like, oh, yeah, it's not too bad. You get like, several feet of ash will show up all over the place, and it does clog your air conditioner. It clogs this, clogs that. And that's like a best case scenario. And I was like, I don't want to move near a volcano right now. So I didn't. But it does look so beautiful there, and the temperatures are great. It was really, really pretty there. And I believe the prices are pretty reasonable. And you could just come right up here to Luzon and all that, like the rest of Luzon, because you're down at the bottom. You just drive like 2-3 hours, and you're like all the way up here, and I guess an hour and a half or 2 hours. Yeah, 2 hours to Manila. Another hour, depending how fast you go, to Angeles City. Thank you very much, Sonia. Just enjoy the Philippines more. Sonia, thank you very much for the super chat. That's awesome. And you know I will. You know I will. How do you not enjoy this? How do you not enjoy this? Like, wait till you guys see the tour of this house. You're going to be blown away. Everything about the Philippines is so amazing, and the opportunities are here. And they went through some, a couple other places to live here where they weren't exactly as pleased. And but then they ended up here, and it was just perfect. So things work out sometimes for another reason, right? Wow, thank you very much. Let's see. With the large amount of Western men heading to the Philippines, what's the likelihood that sorry, it gets cut off there, that the Philippines won't become like the Western world? That's a good question. I hope not, but I think it'll be more likely to look like, like Bali has done and stuff like that in a lot of cases. The cities, though, you can see it. You can already see it. You know, you go to BGC, you go to Eastwood or whatever. They're like the idealistic Western world without, yeah. Well, I think over time, eventually they will have the same problems as the Western world eventually, right? Because right now, when people their biggest focus is on where do I eat, it's going to be completely different than when we no longer have to worry about those things. Then you worry about trivial things, and then you start, society starts to have a problem. But I'm hoping that the rest of the country will be more like, it develops very well. It'll develop like Bali, right? It still has that beautiful feel. It'll feel comfortable. It'll be lovely. Maldives, all that kind of stuff. We hope for the best, but you're right. You're right. You guys are like jumping in here. I really appreciate it. Number one, let me get this new member here because it's out of here. Jim H. Thank you, Jim. You're so cool. Appreciate it. And now I'm going to go to all these because you guys are awesome. Listen to that. There you go. Where's there no name? Just a T. There's nothing else. All right. Well, T, thank you very much. I will have a nice day, and you are awesome. Thank you very much. That was so cool of you. What is this? Leroy. Wow, you guys are just giving me things without any messages. This is awesome. Wow. Listen, Leroy. Thank you very much. I appreciate it very much. And thank you for the emoji. Laughing out loud. Yeah, if you're gonna laugh at me, man, you do it that way. You'll have my attention all the time. Thank you. Make sure I don't miss anything here because it keeps making these noises because it shows up on the screen afterwards. Yeah, and if anybody ever needs to know, like if you want to know something specific or if you want to know anything, you guys can email me. I don't always go very fast. Email is a little harder because I get too many notifications, so it's off, and I have to check it once a day and I have to remember every day. But Facebook Messenger, you can write me that Philippines life. It's really easy. And if you don't have Facebook, you're going to have a hard time here in the Philippines. So I never had one before, not for 20 years when I was back in Canada. I had to create one just to come to the Philippines because everything you need is here. Everything. Like, they all have a Facebook page. They might not have a website. They might not have anything else. A lot of places you have to book that way, everything. Talking so much here. So, yeah, you have to. I don't know if I have a spider on my face, but I feel like I do. So Facebook Messenger is the best and easiest way to get back and forth. Plus, if we want to like conversate and you're asking me about something, I can send you a map of something. I can send you pictures of something. It's just easier. Easier. As much as we all don't love Facebook, I get it. The company itself. All right, let's see. I just got on here. Is $1,900 a month still enough to? Yeah, it is. Definitely. I know people that still do very, very, very well at that price. Like, I'm trying to think of the ones that don't own their own, because some of them that own their own house, they live on about 100,000 pesos, 110,000 pesos a month, but they own their house. So they just have like a little bit of property tax and that kind of thing, and then the bills of the house. But their houses are enormous. And so they're living on, in a massive house for $2,000 a month. So yes, yeah, you're totally going to be fine. You're going to live comfortably. You can't have like a mansion or anything, but you're going to have a really nice place. And you're going to not need anything, and you're going to be able to go eat. And the one rule, and I think everybody's going to agree here, is if you're dating a girl, it's never enough. It's never enough, because you're going to end up spoiling, and you're going to want to do things, and you're going to spend money like crazy. And girls are the downfall to all that. Sorry. That's how it goes. So without doing the dating portion, you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. Yes, Smurf Crutchers, exactly. You guys have been awesome. I'm so grateful, really. All right, so retiring next Friday. Damn. Head into Angeles March 21st. 2 buy-in boxes in transit. Plan to travel with my fishing gear throughout the Philippines. That's so cool. Look at that. So you got the whole plan, and the one thing you can do here is fish. There is a jillion places where you can go fishing. So you're going to have a lot of fun. I've heard from other people that tried to go fishing like in Subic and everything in that area, and they're like, it's all fished out here or whatever. But I got to tell you, from where I am, I don't know if there's any truth to that, by the way. But where I am, like in Iloilo and all those province areas and stuff, nah, fish is not hard to get. You can go out and catch fish, no problem. You can stand on a bridge and fish, no problem. My friend Jerry, I don't know if he's on here right now. If you are, say hello, Jerry. Jerry got that land in Guimaras that I got to show. Guimaras, for 1,900 pesos per square meter on the water in the bay. So he doesn't. That's where everybody goes to hide during typhoons. You bring your boats into the bay, so you're protected by land all over. So he's in the bay, so it's still salt water and everything. And so he loves to go fishing. That's his thing. He wants to be, have a house there and everything and go fishing. And so that was a great deal to be on that island, to have waterfront on the bay. And he's like sloped property, so like a hill sort of thing. So he doesn't have to worry about flooding or anything. He's just in such a good spot. And he's building now. And so, yeah, that's his thing. He wants to go fishing every day and everything. And all of these friends that I meet here or whatever, we all meet up for like expat meetups or anything. So if you're ever going to Iloilo and you're interested, we can hook you up so that you can meet lots of people. We all kind of know each other. They all kind of invite each other to different things all the time. And it's like a big family. It's so cool. So cool. How everybody is just, not just Filipinos, but the expats. Because we're not the drama types, I guess, because we're not like I'm the only single guy at this point, I think. Because they're all like married guys or whatever. They're not looking for any. They're not competing with each other. Everybody's just chill. Maybe that's why there's no drama where we are. I don't know. Hey, hello from Davao City. Love your videos. I gotta come out there. Losi found Grace. Help me out. I'm really terrible with that, but I believe Scandinavian. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. But yeah, I'm going to come out that way. I got invited by some high level person down there, so I have his business card and everything. So they'll make my life a little easier if I go down there, because I don't have to just guess. I can just, and it might be have somebody to drive me around or something like that. That'd be really cool. Exactly. I think either Western culture's got to change because it's kind of like eating itself right now. Like, we hear the jokes about the Roman Empire or whatever, but you have to be careful what you say on YouTube. That's the crazy part. That's the fact that I have to say that is already telling you something. But that civilizations can eat itself up, right? And it's because of we get to a point where we just, same argument I made before. If you aren't worrying about eating and you're not worrying about roof over your head and you're not worrying about this or that, then you start worrying about the ridiculous things that nobody cares about. Like a real person who's got to worry about their families and take care of their life and focus on their savings and do all these things. They don't have time for all this weird stuff to worry about. And, is this? I can't say anything. It's YouTube. So I'm going to be careful. But it's like that's what happens to societies. They just get too extravagant and too crazy and everything else. And, that's why everybody's running after the Philippines. They're like, give me those traditional values. Give me that, some people are so critical, like, oh, the Catholic Church this, Catholic Church that. But the truth of the matter is Catholic Church here provides stability. It provides that foundation for all the family values that are instilled into people. The fear of God, when no one's looking, you still do the right thing. Doesn't mean everybody follows it. I get it. There's some of them that pretend. Like I saw a video once where a guy was stealing a bike and he literally is doing this before he steals the bike. And it's like, what? You just pray before you took the bike, So not everybody's the right kind of person for that. But either way, the traditional values of why we come to the Philippines, and we want people that have good, wholesome, good values, good place to raise children. Though the fact that here we don't have, you can walk down the street and the chance of you seeing even an aggressive person, somebody who's angry, somebody who's drugged out or anything, is so remote. You have to go to very specific types of areas to run into that type of situation. Just tells you, like, you gotta have that traditional values, and those are big. So come here, go to church, meet a girl at church, and you're going to be very happy. Maybe I'll take that advice. I probably will. You never know. Just got back from Leyte. We met one of the girls we met here last night. She was from Leyte. On her third day, she says, working. Maybe. She had a lot of tattoos for her third day. She had there, and I was like, third day? I don't know. Maybe. Just got back from Leyte, Philippines about 3 weeks ago. Got engaged to my girl. Hey! Loved Bye Bye City and Tagbakalon. I've seen the videos on that stuff. It does look really good. So yeah, that's fantastic. But congratulations, Journey Trials and Joy. Fantastic. Is Joy, so Joy's your fiance, I'm assuming? Or is it just Joy? You like happy Joy? Either way, congratulations. That's an amazing thing. Wow. I hope it goes great for you guys. That's amazing. Let's see. Yes, see, there you go. Ars is congratulating as well. That's fantastic. I have a great radio voice. There you go. Welcome to the radio. Yeah. 101.1 FM. Oh, yeah. I should send my resume. There you go. I don't know if they'll pay me enough. Idea of earthquakes. Yeah, so you know what's really cool is another reason why I really do love Rojas City. It's outside of the Ring of Fire, so you don't have to deal with any of that. And I don't talk about that enough, but I should. And so if you look at the geological study maps, right, Rojas City is outside of it. So you've got a beach life. You're going to deal with typhoons no matter where you are, but they're actually pretty sheltered, especially if you're on the one side, because you got big Cebu over there, blocking a lot of it. So yes, they've been hit. Everybody gets hit. But if you build the house properly with cement and everything else, you make sure you have a high elevation, you have good drainage everywhere, you'll be fine. And if you live in the middle of the United States, you're dealing with tornadoes. You live anywhere it's beautiful, you'll notice it doesn't matter. California has been lucky for a long time, but the big earthquakes haven't come, right? But there's a risk when you're living in paradise. I swear to God, it's a natural. Like, this is how it's built in. If you want to live up in middle of nowhere in Canada, you'll deal with snow and horrible climate and everything else. But guess what? Nothing else will happen. They don't have anything. They have a big iron shield underneath it. No earthquakes. Tornadoes extremely rare. You're dealing with snow and snowstorms and super cold weather, and that's it. And so it's like, if you want to live in the most beautiful places, you're dealing with typhoons and hurricanes and all these things. It's weird how the world balances out, like Mother Nature, if you want to call it, or God, or whatever you want to call whatever you are believing in. But it's weird how it does that. It's like, well, we'll give you this, but we got to take a little. Steve Wilcox, hello from Thailand. Thank you, Steve, for being a member. That's awesome. Thank you. I do try to work hard. Thank you very much. I only know that one way. My whole life has been kind of like that. I'm not gonna be lazy. If you're gonna do something, do it right. Work hard. How do you send money to your channel? Oh, do you mean like how do people doing the super chat? There's a little $ thing in the comment section, I think. But yes, that's exactly how it does. Then they pay me like 50% of it in next month. So it does help. I appreciate it. But I know some people are like, oh, I just sent you that. Why don't you just go spend it over here? And it's like, yeah, I only get half of that, and it's in a month from now. So I do appreciate it, but it is like a month. You send it that way, I can't go do something tomorrow with it. And so I've gotten the messages before, but I don't understand. I sent you $20. Did you go get it? Not yet. I'll get it in 30 days, 45 days. You never know who will be at those expat meetups. Oh, yeah. 35 years ago, a friend from Colorado. Oh, exactly. And people move around here in the Philippines. So, like, well, obviously, I'm here in Angeles City. And when I was in Eastwood, both of them I knew from living on Boracay. They also lived on Boracay. So I met them now both in these different places. And I told somebody recently that they're like, what's the best place? And I'm like, honestly, living on Boracay for a little while, go to Nigi Nigi News. It's the most famous place for expats. You can go all afternoon. You sit at that bar, and expats from all over the Philippines are all going to Boracay for a week or 2 weeks, that kind of thing. And you all sit around this bar, and next thing you know, you get to know people, and you're adding them to your contacts. And this guy lives in Angeles, this guy lives in Davao or something, or this one lives in Southern Leyte, and this one. It's so easy to meet people because everybody just chats. That's the whole point of going to that bar is people just, hey, how's it going? Where are you from? And you can actually learn a whole bunch about all over the Philippines just from that, which is so cool. Have I been to CDO or Iligan City? Iligan City has over 20 waterfalls, great beaches. CDO is a modern as Iloilo, as you have Siargao just north of it. So, I haven't yet, but I have to go there. I haven't been to, because CDO is part of Mindanao, correct? The province, or sorry, the territory? How do they work that? It's like Western Visayas, Mindanao? Either way, I'm sorry, I don't know 100%. I do have to go there. The whole area. I've never been to Davao. I've never been to Siargao. Siargao is a little different, though, for me, in that it's a surfer town full of 70% foreigners. And at least at this time in my life, maybe I was dating a girl and go down there and we can do the resorty stuff, that kind of thing. I'll be more into it. But I love the Philippines life, you know? Like, I come down here and I'd rather not be surrounded by 7 out of 10 people around me are all foreigners everywhere I go. And instead, I'd like to be surrounded by 70% Filipinos and have some foreigners around. That's cool. I want to feel like that. And so I haven't tried it. It's not like I'm really making a judgment for no reason. I've never been there. I just see other vlogs and everything. It's just full of under 25 backpacker, digital nomads, surfers. Kind of the same feel I found in Siquijor, which was just a different experience altogether. And I don't know. I'm just not that guy anymore. I'm not 20 years old anymore and that kind of guy. So I don't know how much I'd fit in. But CDO, yes, I got to go check out. I met so many people now through all my travels that are saying, you need to come here. You need to come here. And I apologize for these getting cut off, guys, on my thing. It's not set up properly, but I do appreciate it. Journey trials and joy. So anyway, go back. Sorry. CDO, yes, I will be trying to go there in the next, give me a few months. By the way, fighter jets are flying over me right now. I don't know if it's an F-16. One sec. Oh yeah. I can't tell if they're the South Korea ones. I think they are. He told me the South Korea ones are here. But there's like 12 of them, and they're all flying in formation right now, and they just went straight out. So the equivalent of like the Blue Angels are here from South Korea, and they're doing like air shows, something like that. Pretty cool to see that stuff going on right above your head. So let's get me back to this. So I will go to CDO soon. For the people who say they hate religion, maybe you should use think long and hard. The reason you have, yes, the places like the Philippines is values. So that's what I mean. The traditional values here, I think you should keep an open mind. I think that you got to realize that came from somewhere, and doesn't mean that the Catholic Church, the people behind it, didn't do bad things in the past, in 1,000 years, 100 years, 500 years, whatever. And there aren't people that abuse the system now. But overall, the thought that you're born and there's this person watching you even when nobody's around, that knows if you're doing right or wrong, is not a bad thing. The fact that you have good value systems, everything, it's not bad things. So take away the horrible people that do horrible things in the name of, and I think you'll see a lot more. Anyway, to me, I'm wide open for that. So once again, thank you very much on that. Pros and cons of living on CQ you know what? If you're a young guy, if you're under 25, you're going to love that place. It's just full, and you're interested in dating foreign girls, like, this blonde girl from Sweden or whatever, Americans and a lot of Europeans, that kind of thing. Like, they're all there. But what I didn't see was a single foreigner guy with a Filipina. They had no interest. And I think I talked about this already, the hookup culture, right? It's a hookup culture there where you go to the club and they're just hooking up. And I watched this one guy making his play for this girl and everything, and he was like a surfer dude looking guy or whatever. I'm just kind of describing him. And he's trying to hit on the girl. And the girl's like, kind of not falling for it, but you could tell she would be like, yeah, I guess I got a time for like a quickie. And so having that person willing to do that, and then the Filipina is expecting, oh, if we do anything, we're gonna get married, right? And we're gonna have kids together, right? So the guy's like, I'm going with the blonde girl over here who only just wants a quickie and we're done. I don't want the commitment that comes with the Filipina, or they want money or something like that. And so they're not actually choosing them. So to me, if you're a single guy, unless you're under 25 and looking for hookups, I would probably go to a different place. I could be totally wrong on the other things. Good for a vacation, but and investment would be very smart there because it's still a lot more development to happen, and it's going to boom. It's going to boom. There we go. Snowing like a bugger here in Saskatoon. Wow, wow, wow. Thanks for the great vlogs. Vivian says hi. Hello, Vivian. Thank you, Jim. So yeah, no, I don't miss it, man. I don't miss it. I feel sorry for you. It's so cool to hear these fighter jets just screaming across my head. Sorry about that. It's hard to not get distracted. Thank you very much, Jim. You're awesome. I appreciate it. And Vivian, hello. Yeah. How interesting is that to see these things flying? I have a giant tree over here, so I only see it on the angles. Oh, wow. And you know the shell that goes around those palm trees or whatever? When they dry out, they flake because it's like shedding. Massive one just came crashing down. Yeah, they are. YouTube is extremely censored. It's Google. Google censors everything. Yeah, that's how it goes. Got to live within the means. Steve Sun, hello, hello. Once again, I got fighter jets flying over me, and it's hard to see. I don't know if you can hear it. There you go. I turned my denoise off for a minute there so that you guys could hear the fighter jet. I don't know if you could hear it, but that was really low. That was super cool. Maybe, but yeah, everybody has their own opinion for sure. David, how are you, David? Nice to see you, brother. Australia. There is, but there wasn't. It was predominantly. That's the thing. Like when I say everywhere, that kind of thing, I'm obviously exaggerating a bit. I'm not saying everyone, but when I went to the club, 1,000 people that are at this beach bar club where they go. It is packed. It was predominantly. Of all the foreigners that were there, predominantly. Doesn't mean I was there, obviously. And the other guy he's in my video. He's from Vancouver, him and his wife. They're in their 60s, retired, and they're just living their life. But they were like telling me all over the world that they've been to because they retired pretty well. And so every couple of weeks they can just go somewhere else. They don't even care because they don't have a timetable, right? And then they just go back to Vancouver and ski, and every 6 months of the year they just disappear and go different places all over the world, living their good life. But in my opinion, in a very short visit, you should keep that in mind. That it wasn't like I can say that I spent 2 weeks there, a month there, or anything. People ask me opinions about Iloilo City. I have a very good idea of what it's like in Iloilo City in that area. Even living on Baraka, I have a good idea. If I go to a place for 2 to 3 days, I just keep it in mind. It's 2 to 3 days of me wandering that town. Can't possibly know everything. Yeah, Clark Air Force Base is, well, everything's close when you're a fighter jet, right? Like these are like F-16s or something like that. Or yeah, I think they're F-16s. I could be wrong. Maybe they're not. Peter, my friend, would know. But anyway, so yeah, it takes 2 seconds to be, 150 miles away or something like that. They could be anywhere, but it's definitely Clark Air Force Base. So it doesn't mean I'm close to it. It's just everything is close. Oh yeah, San Diego. I remember that. I was down in Oceanside and I was in San Diego. And never mind the crazy checkpoints that you have to do on the highway, which you're already in America. It was really weird. But yeah, you're right. The F-35s, they're beasts. They're beasts. What's the rule of thumb? Yeah, no one cares here. The trolls care on the internet. No one cares here. No one even bats a lash. Nobody thinks anything. No one questions anything. There's no such thing. I'm 48, by the way, and Bianca was 24, right? But everybody thought she was young. Put it this way. I thought it was funny. I'm not going to name any names. And but we were at a province, okay? And it was this counselor that was like, "Hey, you want to stay in my house or whatever?" And we stayed in their house. And he says afterwards, like, something came up or whatever, right? And we're staying in his house. We've met the mayor. We've done all these things. And later on, it comes out that he thought she was 16 or 14, something like 16. And I'm like, dude, you let me stay in your house. You had me meet the mayor. We filmed this whole thing. You thought she was 16? And you were okay with that? Like, and he was just like, I don't know. Whatever. You guys are married in Canada, right? And I'm like, yeah, but no, she's 24, man. And he's like, oh, wow. Anyway, that's my fun story. I haven't personally. That was Bianca. She knows Elodia, not me. Sorry, I wasn't with her or anything like that. She goes and does that herself. Which you can try to contact her on the other one. She does read the comments now. So my understanding is that's the way. She doesn't really answer messages, as far as I know, very often. But if it's specific, maybe she will. I don't know. There you go. Fighter jets again. Woo! No. They'll be the managers. So what happens is the customer service places, like there's tons. You see them in Eastwood. You see everything. You see the Americans and all that. But they're like the bosses. So they're there so that you'll have 20 call center girls or people. And when they're not sure, or people are like, I need a manager, then they're there. Wow, it's so loud right now. Wow. I should just put my headphones in just so I don't have to get distracted. Anyway, so they'll be like the guy. So you'll be like getting frustrated or whatever. Okay, let me be a manager. They'll have one guy on the floor for those 20 people, and he will be from America, right? So it's an American call center. And that way, context is there, all right? So it's not that they don't have good English or whatever. It's the context. So when you're talking to somebody who's actually from America, it's different because they can be like, oh, what part of Chicago are you from? Oh, yeah, I've been there before. Like it just helps people relate and all that kind of. So it's sometimes very important for these companies to maintain a certain amount of people from America or Canada or wherever you're working at a call center, to have a certain amount of them there. And just understanding the concept of life there helps in that position. So yes, all the call centers do generally employ a local person. Did I put the denoise back on, or you guys hear everything right now? One sec. I think we're good, right? Yeah, there we go. That's the noise. There we go. Okay. So, yeah, call centers do have people, but you're not going to be a call center person. You'll be a manager, and they'll be looking for people with call center experience, to be honest, if you want to go work there. It's not like there's not a shortage of foreigners who would love to come here and make, you're not going to make huge money, but you might make 100,000 pesos a month working at a call center. Since the people at the call center making 38 or 40, the manager might make 100. 38 is kind of like the I-Corps in Iloilo. I think their average wage was 38, 34, something like that. And that's a really decent wage for a lot of Filipinos, especially if there are two of them working, making 75K. They can live a pretty darn good life, right? That's why when you see a place with a lot of call centers, overall, the economy is doing really well. Oh, we got a storm coming. I got a storm coming. The winds are just coming out of nowhere, and I got black clouds just in my distance here. Not good for my computer, obviously, or whatever, but that's okay. I think we're getting at 2 hours here. You guys have been really awesome anyway, so. Oh, here we go. Somebody's saying where they are. They're flying T-50Bs, Gold Eagle aircraft. Okay, perfect. Well, they're loud. They're awesome. They're loud. It's pretty amazing. And you can hear the jet. That's fantastic. I smell it. Best line ever, my friend. Best line ever. I love the smell of napalm in the morning. Nobody clipped that. Let's see. Yeah, good answers. You guys are all very helpful in the comments. I really appreciate that. Oh, wow. Okay. I got two here. I read it back to back. Hey, I never traveled that far world in my life. I want to check out the Philippines. I most likely, I would like likely travel by myself and recommendations you have where to go and stay. Okay, here we go. And I think there was another one. I just want to make sure. I'll get them both. No worries. Okay, Jose. Let me think. Kind of depends where you are. And like, you, not just because you super chatted me here, but you really should talk to me. Like, we connect, and then I can really pick your brain and find out what you really want, and I can make sure you're going to be not disappointed and you'll be happy, because I think a lot of people say this, and they're not wrong. They're like, if you're from the West, to get yourself slowly used to the culture here, and some of the things that you're going to find, the crazy roads and the dogs and the chickens and the just certain things, is everybody says go to BGC first and then slowly make your way out. But it's a culture shock even if you leave BGC, to be honest. So I would say something like Manila Bay. Go down to Manila Bay where you have Mall of Asia, you got all that stuff, but it's like always the Philippines. You're still in the Philippines. Right across the street is the Philippines. The street foods are everywhere, and it just, instead of trying to, like, to me, yeah, it's still too much of a shock to leave BGC and then you're like, whoa. But if you go to there, you kind of get a mix of everything. So I would love Manila Bay would be a really good idea, not far from the airport. And you have the really cool stuff that you're going to go and try anyway. That Mall of Asia is absolutely enormous. And they got like all kinds of stuff out there that are going to keep you busy for a while. And you can wander around the streets pretty safely there. And they got the American Embassy there and they have big parks and all that. And then from there, get used to it. Now, if you're just coming because you want the beaches and the life, well, a lot of people say just go to Palawan or Boracay, and they're not wrong. You can go do that stuff, and it's going to be easy, and it's clean, and it's safe, and you're not going to feel bad about that. And Cebu is great too, but the traffic. But there's so many cool things, but the traffic, right? I like the Temple Leia. It's kind of cool to go see. Like, this guy did this for his wife, and he built this, and it's still being built and bigger and bigger and bigger. You'd have to see it to believe it. It's like a castle, like literally a castle. But, and swimming with the whale sharks, all that stuff. So again, really depends on what you want out of your trip. Maybe you're just down here just trying to find a girl. Then you're going to have a whole other thing to talk about. So if you message me, we'll chat. I will help you anyway to put you in the right direction that I can help with. And I'm clearly single, so clearly I'm not pretending I know everything about where the girls are. But yeah. I think I did this one. Yeah, something like a bugger here. Yes, I did. I just want to make sure I didn't miss that. Thank you again, Jim. And anyway, so yeah, feel free to message me. Like I said, it's in all my videos, Jose. You just click description, and then boom, there's an email, there's Facebook. That Philippines Life is pretty much anywhere. Just find me. We'll reach out and we'll talk. Yeah, see. Start in Manila. It's insane. Exactly. You should kind of throw yourself in and try not to hide from it all. But I would just go do that. Go do the Chinatown thing. Go do the Divisoria just for walking around and everything. And then just kind of expand out from there. Like, Iloilo is beautiful, but I always tell people, make sure you tried something else first. Then you'll really appreciate Iloilo real quick. And I'm hoping that's like the kind of, when somebody was saying earlier about, like, what about the future of the country, that kind of thing, right? Will it become a Western world or whatever? Iloilo is like a good mix. It's still Filipino. There's very few foreigners there, to be honest. And it feels good, it feels great. But will it stay that way? I don't know. It's probably going to become like Eastwood and like a picturesque world, which is unique in its own way, and it's still wonderful. But I'm moving to the Philippines on disability income. Any suggestion how much I should have saved? Yeah, like the rule is for your health care and stuff, even if you have other health care and just anything that can happen, is you need like 10, 20K, in a savings to make sure you have that much access to. And then you need to just have your standard income and then just build a life around that income. I know plenty of people that get disability income, that kind of thing from, vets, right? And they spend to every penny, right? They know that they have the health care covered because they're vets. And so they stay in like the big city here in Manila or whatever, and they can get whatever they need from the VA. So, and they just live their life. They literally have every toy in the world or whatever, and they just buy, and they know that that certain day they always get paid. And so they don't worry about savings. They don't worry about, and they just live their life. They live their best life. And they just have everything they could possibly want up to the point of the end of their income, right? And so they just maximize it and don't worry about anything. Honestly, they're living a pretty cool life, you know. But once you start a family and everything, you're going to be like, oh, I want to set a nest egg aside for my wife when I pass away. And that's a typical thing here, is that then you start worrying about your partner that you've now met. Make sure you guys get married, and make sure so that when you pass away, she can take on some of your pension or something like that. Like, that's a big worry that I hear from a lot of my friends, is their Filipino wives after they've gone, because they're taking so well care of them in their last days or years or whatever it is, that they want to make sure that they're still good. Hope it helped. It depends. See, for me, I went to Cambodia first, which is just a madhouse, right? It was crazy. But then I went to live in Albania, which was a very simple place, and it's so beautiful, really, really beautiful. The foods were fantastic, everything. But it's kind of like here, you know, it was cheap as here, by the way, if not cheaper. And I just really got out of that Western world thoughts, everything, when I was there. And then I came here. So, and I would tell people all the time, I'm really easy to please. So, like, I say wow to things that people are like, oh, shut up, you're not saying. And I'm like, no, I'm easy to impress. I don't know what to tell you. If you keep your expectations here, you'll be disappointed all the time. But if you're wired differently, where your expectations are always basic, then you're going to be impressed a lot. And I think I'd rather be that guy. It's like being an optimist or a pessimist, right? I'm definitely an optimist. So, yeah, it depends. Yeah, there's no tension here. There's no, like you're saying here, tension in America. Yeah. Like, I know people ask me all the time, what are you guys worried about, China and this? And I'm like, what? No. Americans worry about that stuff, but nobody here, like, thinks about it. The average Filipino doesn't read the news. They're just living their life every day and always smiling, and maybe that's why they're always smiling. They stay away from all that crap. Oh, yeah, no, that's okay. You know, it's better if you just lay it all out and then give me an opportunity. I spend about 2 hours every morning. I sit down, I get my coffee, everything, and I just go through tons of messages. And a lot of times I do that at night, too. So about twice a day, and then anytime I'm in a Grab or car or taxi or something, I've got like an hour. I go through them all. Don't mind doing it. Don't feel like you're annoying me at all. Fantastic. You're coming to Iloilo. Doing everything that expat advised me against doing, but I'll have an income from an online business. Oh, that's fantastic. If you have a steady income or whatever, that's going to be great for you. Digital nomad visa eventually be coming too. That'll be make things a lot easier for a lot of people. But fantastic. You're going to love Iloilo, and there's so much to do there. And if you're in town or whatever, and you're a pretty cool guy, then we can get you into the expat meetup thing, groups and everything. You just don't want to put anybody that's going to cause drama or anything like that, and not be too crazy or weird about everything, and just be able to get along with everybody. That's the only thing. So we never keep them at the same place on that purpose. So if we have somebody there that rubs everybody the wrong way, we just don't tell them where the next one's going to be. No offense to them. It's just we all want to be able to get along and have somebody go crazy. It's never happened as far as I know. Like, since I've been there, we've never had that situation, but everybody always worries that one person will come along. I do have to end this soon, though, before this rain comes. Let's see. You guys are all having different talks there and everything. I appreciate it. And are you staying permanently in the Philippines? Yeah, no, I think I love the Philippines. So if you ask me today, I'm not going anywhere. Does that mean I'm not going to one day go, hey, I'm going to go to Japan for 2 weeks? I'm going to do that. Of course I'm going to do that. Living in Canada, I went to all kinds of places, South America, Central America. I did that whole, easy, because you only get 1 week vacations half the time. And now that I'm here, I want to do vacations to other Asian countries, right? And so there's still several I haven't been to. I have to go back to Australia. I've been to Australia. It just makes sense. But I'm going to live here. I'm going to live here. I love it here. I love the people more than everything else. It might be people say, "Oh, it's cheaper in Thailand. It's cheaper this." I'm like, I don't care. The people here are just absolutely amazing. It doesn't mean I'm not going to visit Thailand, but the people here are just next to no one else in the world. Okay. How do I donate? Are you talking about the super chat, William? I don't know. If it is, it's a $sign in the chat there. I don't post like a PayPal or anything, but if you write me, you can. I'm not going to say no, but I just don't want anybody to think I'm out there begging, or anything. I'm not. But if you wanted to, I actually met with a lead prosecutor recently, and I was able to ask some questions off the books, not like on camera or anything. It wasn't there with the camera actually. And I just said, like, if somebody donates me, like if I go somewhere and I help them out at their house or whatever, and they like hand me $10 or 1,000 pesos, I'm like, is it illegal for me to take it? And they're like, no. And I'm like, well, how does that work under tax law and everything? And she's like, no, honorariums are allowed in Philippines under tax law. And I'm like, even for foreigners? She's like, yes, even for foreigners. So if you help out with something, not volunteering, not taking a Philippines job, that's the key part of it. But if somebody offers to just give you an honorarium, it's legal here. But it still doesn't change. I just don't want the hate you get from everybody else. And now that I'm forming a corporation, we're going to be good, thankfully. And I'm going to be part of a charity organization that's already huge, helps children all over. And it's not one of those, donate money and we'll build a school. And then they just keep every year showing the same school with a different paint color and then pretending. No, it's none of that. I wouldn't get involved with that if I knew that. Does it bother you that women in the West paint a negative picture? The men who go to Asia? Yeah, but why are they doing it, right? I know plenty of women there, and they get it. They get it. They're like, I wouldn't date half these girls too. But that's because they're smart enough to see it and go, if I spend my whole life just on my career and I think that men are disposable and don't deserve it. They must work for it, even though I haven't done a single thing for them, but they somehow have to work for everything, and I don't have to do any work. You know what I mean? That sort of thing. They even think that's ridiculous. They're like, yeah, if I want to have a family, then I'm going to have a family. And most relationships, not saying all of them, two people pulling in the same direction, want the same things out of life and everything else. There are some people that are doctors and they're both doctors or something, or one's a doctor and one's a lawyer, and they're a very successful relationship, but the problem, generally they're not going to have kids. And if they do, it's much later in life and that kind of thing. But that is less likely, I think, to succeed because you're pulling in different directions and your careers are competing for your personal time that you are going to have together. You're going to have a lot of that. It just makes it easier if you're both pulling in the same direction, because it's very difficult to be a high-powered, career-focused person when there's nobody making sure your foundation is strong the whole time. Like I used to be that guy who worked 6-7 days at corporate, worked so many hours. I was almost never home. And if I don't have somebody taking care of the home, everything falls apart. Nobody's there to pay the bills. Nobody's there to make sure the grass gets cut. Nobody's sure. You need a strong foundation, and it takes everything. So just like a house, right? Like a house is not a house if you just have walls. Right? Somebody's got to be the ceiling. Somebody's got to be the walls. Somebody's got to be the electricity go in or whatever. It takes a lot. So anyway, I can go on a rant on this stuff. Sorry about that. All right. Totally nobody cares. If you look at interviews of people that go around like Cebu and stuff, and they interview girls and they're like, what are you looking for at a guy? And most of them, they say, do you want a guy that's fit or do you want a guy that's fluffy, like has a belly and all that? They all want a belly. Not all. A large percentage of them will go for a belly. So I want to give you an idea. Yesterday, when we went to Angeles City last night, right? Down here at Walking Street, me and my friend are there, right? He's 60-something years old. And really nobody hit on us. Really, nobody really hit on us. Nobody talks to us. Nobody, it really wasn't. And then even when we bought the two girls a drink just to chat with them or whatever, he got way more attention than me at that point. That girl really was. The other girl, she just sat at me like this. She would answer my questions, but she was totally not interested. Not at all. I couldn't even, I'm paying and you don't even want to talk to me. So I was like, wow, damn. If you are a fluffy person, if you are much older, you are going to get all the attention in the world. And it's no different than when I was younger in Canada. And it would be with clients, we'd have these big automotive manufacturing clients, right? The big car companies. And their engineers, you have to wine and dine them. We take them to the strip club to go get wine and dined and all that kind of thing. And they would be generally Michigan football players, former, that kind of thing from Michigan State. Big guys, right? Really big. And girls would just, and I'd be sitting there, three-piece suit, cut, fit. I felt good about myself or whatever. I couldn't get a girl to come up to me one time. They look at you and they're like, yeah, you're not gonna pay for anything. Sorry, you're just not going to. And so I felt like that same thing happened to me last night. No one, I go walk up and down. I say no one, but like no like if people are into what's the right words now? See, this is the thing, you're worried about being canceling. If you're worried about ladyboys, or let's just say a ladyboy, if you are into that, that's cool. I don't care what people are into. Go have it. Do whatever you're doing. I'm not. But they're the only ones that seem to, just be like, hey, But girls, I wasn't getting anything. Nothing. So anyway, your friend's going to have absolutely no problems. Your friend is going to do just fine. Do just fine. That was the whole point. Oh, yeah, we did that already. Thank you very much, by the way, again. Yeah, I know. I've been hearing this stuff forever. Somehow the debt doesn't matter anymore. Like, I don't know. I don't think you can guess and you can know because Canada had only 300 billion in debt before the pandemic, and now they're 3 trillion. Like, everything is just clown world. I don't know what to say. Money is not even representative by anything anymore, and yet it's doing. America's dollar has gotten better here in the Philippines, so like it's not 50 anymore; it's 56, right? And 58. Where Canada's tanking, so I don't know. Extremely big here, extremely big. As the girls in the provinces tell me, the boys want boys and the girls want boys. So everybody, that's why you're going to do just fine over here. Everybody wants the guys. It is a very, 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 very much part of life here and getting stronger and stronger by the day. Government of Canada and United States, all of them are donating a lot of money to this country to promote that. So it's everywhere. Everybody's open to it. And it's not like in the U.S. where if you don't get the pronoun right exactly, they're going to hate you. And or if you just call them a ladyboy, they don't mind. They don't actually mind. Nobody's offended. The easily offended part, you can throw that away. Here, they're just like, yeah, that's what I am. Like, it's okay. It's okay. Nobody's being weird about it here. So it's a lot more accepting here. They can't get married and all that stuff. That's not allowed, but outside of that. Corporation could be a few different things, but no, not yet. No, that would take a lot of money. No, it's other ideas. I just can't talk about it right now, but yeah. Money earning is the key at the beginning instead of just investment. Storms are knocking things out of the trees right now. I do have to go soon though. Entertaining evening, brother. Hey, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Richmond, Saskatoon? SK, yeah. Was in the Philippines in 2011, scuba diving with a bunch of Americans from the Monterey Bay Aquarium on Verde Island. We'll be there next winter. Fantastic. Yeah, I got to get more into that. A friend of mine's looking at land right now in San Joaquin for the purpose of that. They'll have a cool little vacation place for the summer, weekends, whatever. They're retired. Everything is summer. But whenever they feel like it, and they're going to do like scuba diving because it's instead of a beachy area, it's that crashing sound of rocks and everything, but also fantastic because it's right by a fish sanctuary, and they can do a lot of snorkeling and scuba diving. So maybe I'll do a little bit when they're all set up there. That'll be cool. Yeah, the onward ticket thing. I know. I didn't buy like people say there's these services and everything. I just didn't want to get caught. I don't know. I'm just not the one to ask, but there are these websites where you can buy these tickets that aren't really tickets and all this stuff, and I just don't know. I bought a ticket that had a 20-day later onward ticket to Vietnam or something. It was like $50 more to add to the ticket. I just paid it. and then you just never use it, obviously, because you come within 2 weeks, you're going to add another month to your visa, and then you do the third month, and then after that you go after that you get an ACR card, and it just keeps going and going. Okay, sorry guys, I'm gonna have to go. I want to thank you all for these amazing super chats, and you got new members. Thank you guys, you've been so cool. I've got so much going on. I said in the beginning, maybe you guys can rewind so I don't have to repeat it, but I have so many destinations, so many cool things. Just like everything is just, I have so many videos. I'm going to edit right after this and get videos out to you guys because, yeah, I've been so busy that I'm not putting one up every day right now, but I will. I have so many that I have to. Otherwise, I'm already 5 days behind on videos. So lots to come. So I want to thank you very much for joining, though. You guys are super, super cool. I got a 40-second delay on this, so I'll show you the beautiful pool for 40 seconds, just so that everybody's comments actually make it in, because by the time I say thank you and by the time your chats show up. But thank you guys so much for joining me, and we'll see you guys soon. I hope you're subscribed. If you are in the chat, you have, but if anybody else, click like on the video. I think that's it. All right. Thank you from Angeles City, guys, and we'll see you very soon. Maybe we'll be doing this in La Union, doing the next live with Michael. You never know. All right, guys. Thank you very much.